Yeah, Tracy, senators in Washington can affect who sits on the Supreme Court, how much you get paid at your job, and some of what President Biden can do in the second half of his term. Voters have a lot of power this year, and in Pennsylvania, it is supercharged.
And I got to say, Pennsylvania could very well decide this entire election. The Senate is in the balance.
It's a claim you'll hear on both sides of the aisle as Pennsylvania's Senate race heats up.
This Senate seat will determine who controls the Senate.
Pennsylvania is one of 6 states whose Senate race is considered a toss-up this election year. Any one of those states can make a difference because the Senate is split 50-50. The only reason Democrats have control is because the vice president breaks any ties. This slim margin has meant even with the edge in the Senate and President Biden in the White House, Democrats have not been able to pass legislation they've talked about on raising the minimum wage. And bills that pass through the House on background checks for guns and voting rights have not become law.
Conversations we're having at the doors is reminding them about how important all these different elections are.
Kadita Kenner is executive director of the New Pennsylvania Project, which is working to register people to vote.
We've been talking to them about their voting rights in general. The fact that we have U.S. senators in Pennsylvania, one who is for the addition of expanding voting rights and one who seems to not be in favor of ensuring that folks have easier access to the ballot.
Kenner is also co-chair in Pennsylvania of Why Courts Matter.
One of those things that is very important, one of the most important things that a U.S. senator can do is confirm somebody for a lifetime on the federal bench, be it the lower court or the United States Supreme Court.
If Republicans take the Senate, they could control whether President Biden gets any future Supreme Court nominees through during the second half of his term and prevent Democrats from passing legislation that they think is too far left.
Right now we're seeing, frankly, a disaster.
Republican National Committee co-chair Tommy Hicks was in Bucks County helping train volunteers.
America right now is not strong. It's not the way that the American people want things to be going. We're on the wrong trajectory. So right now we're bringing volunteers together so that we can retake our country, and it starts by taking the House and the Senate back in 2022.
Democrats say they've delivered.
I think we already have plenty to run on in terms of what we've been able to do. The schools are open today because of the American Rescue Plan, which no Republican voted for.
And have plans of their own.
You know, we are going to spend a lot of time and energy in Pennsylvania over the course of the next few weeks and months ahead.
Well, you can count on NBC 10 this election year to help you stay on top of a busy election year. We will be asking questions of the candidates and breaking down the issues so that you can decide who gets your vote. I'm Lauren Mayk, NBC 10 News.